Hi, Santy here. Looking kind of funny. I don't have black eyes. I'm just representing our ancestors and the Day of the Dead. And this, I've already got crap. I even laugh at myself because I really need to. I'm crazy. Anyway, I have the death mark for the skeleton head on him. I have a skeleton here with the Mexican Mary on top, and I have my sugar skull right here to represent the celebration. Now, we're going to talk about that first. The Day of the Dead is around November the 1st to November the 2nd. Today is the 2nd, so what happened was yesterday we remembered, and today the spirits are departing from us. It came from the Mexicans, which came from the Aztecs, this tradition. The souls at that time returned to visit their families, and they had festivals and rituals. And it was a great time for them. They weren't looking at it as sad, but they know the cycle of life, and they are really acknowledging and praising their ancestors. They placed items on altars, and they had their favorite things out for them. They put loaves out and skulls, shaped candies, and crossbones and all kinds of cooked goods as well. They had the marigold flower, and that's the flower of the dead, according to them. And it was white, orange, and yellow were great colors. They also used baby breath and tree resin for their incense. They did make all those sugar candy skulls and all that themselves when they did. They put the names of the departed on them and the living on them with their relative. And that is the best thing that they wanted, and they didn't want anyone to have suffered, but to die peacefully and quickly. The candles on the mantle or the altar, the flowers and petals were there, and it was to show them the way out, show them the way back to the spirit world. And things are showing me the way to my crazy eyes today. They had drinks. They had white lightning, liquor, water, soft drinks, and everything that might support life for them, especially if that's what they did back when they were alive. So they put those spirits out there. Also, I'm going to light this candle to honor our ancestors today. It is a skeleton candle. I'll show it to you in a second. And we are honoring them very much. It has a crystal on top of it. Can you see it? It is a skeleton's head. And I'm putting it over here, right here. And it's sitting right there. You can't see it with all this light, but I can, and it's representing the spirit world. Lots of light in here today. So the spirits have a lot of light with them. Okay. When we were honoring our ancestors, we are also may pick up things in dreams about them. When we see skulls, it represents rebirth into the next life, in the next phase of life. And they are always present in our lives if we know it or not, our past ancestors. And powerful vessels of consciousness is where they lie. They are our spirit because they're in our body. They amplify our physical connection to human life, and we are presently living with them. When we align with our souls, we find our purpose and our karma, and we carry this specifically into our lifetime. You cannot leave your ancestors out of it. They are part of who you are, and you need to acknowledge that being a dark soul or a light soul. Ways to honor your ancestors is, well, of course, we carry their DNA. And to create the altar, this is what we can do. Create rituals and thank them, and a space for them in our home. I have a shelf over there on my bookshelf dedicated to my ancestors with stones and things that I feel like relate to them. You can document stories about them that brings them right back into the picture. Prepare a meal in their honor, and that connects you emotionally and spiritually to their souls. And say a prayer. Prepare a plate for them, and respect your lineage no matter what. You may take a spiritual journey through a meditation, and that can help you connect with them as well. Now, another thing I want to do is Mars went into retrograde, and it's until November the 14th. And what happens with Mars is, you know, if things are going on in your life right now, this probably has nothing to do with spirits. This has something to do with the effects that astrology have on us, because the above affects below and below above. But with Mars moving the way it is, which it appears to be backwards, it has made us reflect and review our lives, and it moves every few years. So it doesn't move into Aries. It moved into Aries and then Pisces, out in the zones of space, into those areas. And because it's out there roaming around in that, issues become prominent and dominant of those planets of that the Aries and Pisces are. The planet of war is the Aries. So that's the main one right now to take a look at. And it does rule high energy, anger, frustration, competition, violence, rules weapons, accidents, frustration, siblings, and all kinds of maybe mischief and so forth. Now, it also controls your blood flow, protesting, and may even affect resales of property and belongings and things like that. This brings things to the surface. So if you are arguing, fighting, doing anything with anybody, you know that partially it's your choice, but partially it has to do with the astrology the way it is. And when it is shining brighter in the sky. It's the fourth planet, and it's shining brighter than the Sirius planet that normally does shine bright, October the 30th, which we just had. Now, what happens with bad cycles that we may bring forward from our ancestors and from all these things happening up in the sky? It's a mixture of everything that can upset our apple cart, or we let it upset our apple cart, is to connect with our genealogy and the customs of the past. Don't get angry, don't get mad, just accept who you are and stick with that. Take your self-reflection, which we talked about in the last one with the crystal ball. Take a look at yourself. Clear your chakras if they're clouded, clogged. We're going to go over chakras in the new year in detail and a lot of other things. But anyway, you want to clear them because the lower chakras are the ones that cause all this trouble. They cause a lot of emotional issues and problems. You want to meditate and be gentle with yourself. You will make a difference if you do. Work towards making a change and a transformation at this time with yourself, as we're in autumn at this moment. Now, I am going to pull a couple of cards here to see how we wrap this one up. See what we got.